Dienstag ist Dilemmatag. Hello and welcome to another episode. Today we are in the Bajoran region once more. So as you can see, we are playing here on the right side of the table with 4 missions in the Bajoran region and another one here. Our opponent is in the Romulus region and also has some neutral zone missions, so we have quite a long Alpha Quadrant spaceline. Our opponent has seeded a Dyson Sphere door. That's a doorway where you can download dilemmas from, but you could also do this from a QS tent. And there's also Let Me Help. The main thing about this card here is that it makes gender-related dilemmas more powerful, and it also has the effect of making gender dilemmas apply to Borg affiliations as well. Usually Borg affiliations could ignore gender-related dilemmas. With this card, they also have to sacrifice some bodies. Okay, let's have a look. We are attempting relocate settlers here, and we have a sizable crew. Just look at them. There's Odo, there's Barile, there's Kira, a lot of good guys. So let's just slide out the bottom dilemma, and it is shore leave. To get past requires a male and a female, or honor plus integrity greater than 50. We easily have that. Let's read on. Opponent may then download and seed here up to 2 of the following: female's love interest, male's love interest, parallel romance, or wind dancer. Our opponent decides to download a female's love interest and a male's love interest. Now, because of Let Me Help, these 2 dilemmas now relocate not 1 but 2 personnel of the given gender. So let's shuffle them and remove the personnel on the left over to the furthest planet. So 2 males, that's Shakar and Surmak, who go over all the way to covert installation. And then let's do the same thing for 2 females. That's Vedic Dex and Kira. Okay, but these dilemmas are all gone then, and we can go on to the next one. It's Primal Urges, the Lizard King and Lizard Queen, Janeway and Paris, who have evolved into some kind of weird animal. They ask us to show 1 male and 1 female, but Let Me Help actually turns this into 2 males and 2 females, and they must run off to furthest planet. Nullify with animals, we don't have those, and nobody ever has. So, this time it's our choice. So, looking at the mission requirements, we usually want to keep those safe. Double security and treachery maybe. There's a treachery, there's double security, so we send off 1 female, another female, 1 male, another male. And then we have also cleared this dilemma, and we can already have a look at the last one. And as expected, it's matriarchal society. Usually, to get past, at least 2 female awaiting members must be present. With Let Me Help, this turns it into 3. Now we only have Win left here, so we could probably play a couple more from hand. Problem is, not all affiliations have such a big supply of female personnel that they can actually play enough bodies after they have already lost so many. And since these guys have been relocated, that's in a way worse than being killed. Because especially for affiliations that don't have too much range on their ships, relocating them to the far end of the Alpha Quadrant spaceline here is probably worse than death, because if they would be killed, we could simply play another copy from hand, or we could play cards that let us retrieve personnel from the discard pile and then report them again, and so on. But here we would have to spend a lot of time flying over there. That's 4, 3, 3, 2, and 3, so 15 range to get there, and then we would have to fly back as well. By the time we have done this, the game is likely almost over. So there are probably better ways to do this. For example, if you're playing Ferengi, you can simply ignore any and all gender-related dilemmas. They are simply nullified. You'd have to play Lumber. Nobody ever does, because mostly there is a version of Quark that is more adequate for the deck you're playing. A card you might see more often is Lieutenant Uhura. Once per game may nullify a female-related dilemma here. That can be just enough if you nullify the right one, that you can still clear the mission in a reasonable amount of time. So that's a good option against this kind of dilemma combo. If you have indeed been hit with so many relocations, then maybe you have a deck that can download where no one has gone before or play it from hand, so that your ship could then just Pac-Man move, zoom out of one end of the space line, come in the other end, beam them all up, and bring them back to where your missions are. Or there are other relocation cards in the game, for example, the Gift, especially for Delta Quadrant affiliations. Wormholes, maybe in conjunction with Lenara Khan, allows you some flexibility to zoom around the spaceline. Quantum Slipstream Drive, Transport Conduit, which doubles the range of a ship, and also Borg have the Transwarp Network Gateway to give them easy access to different locations on the spaceline. Now, not all affiliations are created equal here, and the ones that can be hit the hardest by this kind of dilemma combo are found in the Delta Quadrant. Vidians only have Danara Pell as the only female personnel. Kazon have two versions of Seska, but apart from her, it's only the universal Rill. If you ever wonder why there are so many copies of Rill in many Kazon decks, it's because of female drain. So sometimes you find 3 or 4 copies of her. And also Hyrogen have the virtual version of Hyrogen Janeway. Apart from that, it's only Kajal. Other than that, they are stumped. Other affiliations that are also struggling a little bit with this are some forms of Vulcan decks. They have, I think, 8 personnel, including a universal one, that are female. And also Dominion can have a hard time if you play a Jem'Hadar heavy deck. If you play something that focuses a lot on Founders and Waters, you have a lot more options, but they might struggle as well. Okay, that's it for this time. If you watched some of our last episodes, you'll notice that something that we showcased in episode 4, called Take Me Home, appeared in the Winning World Champion deck this time. So if you look at the deck list, you'll find it on TrackCC. There is a deck that uses that strategy, a variation thereof, not the exact same combo we showed, but it just goes to show that if players are unprepared, such a nifty combo can actually win you the grandest title of them all. Thanks for watching. If you like this show at all, please leave a like or a comment or subscribe to this channel. It would be much appreciated. Thanks very much.